I gave a lesson on civil service at the public safety meeting this month. I'm going to give it now. Pennsylvania has about 4 different types of municipalities. City of Philadelphia is a city of the first class, Pennsylvania's only city of the first class. Then you have townships like Upper Darby, townships like Darby Township. Some townships are ruled by township law, some townships are ruled by home rule charter. Philadelphia is also ruled by home rule charter. Then you have cities of the third class, cities like Chester. Now those models, the mayor has more authority depending on if it's township. Some townships don't have a mayor. Some home rule charter townships do have a mayor. Philadelphia's mayor is not like a borough's mayor. In a borough, the highest authority is your borough council. The mayor does have their role and authority over the police, but it's within their role, which is set by Pennsylvania law, the borough council, civil service, labor laws. It's not a carte blanche. Whatever the mayor says goes. In a borough, the mayor has no role in hiring and firing. When the council has ruled to hire, that's it. The council cannot just hire full-time police officers. We are required by Pennsylvania law, because we operate a police department, to go through a civil service testing vetting process. Some of it's laid out in the consolidated statutes, but a lot of it's laid out in our ordinance that we're required to maintain per Pennsylvania law. The hiring process took so long because of a multitude of factors. Things that slowed us down in getting to this point is, I will say, flat out sabotage. I'm not going back and forth about it. I have the receipts.
Take responsibility.
And the responsibility is always for the council to bring the solutions in accordance with law. Because the law says if you don't follow it, everything is null. Any promotions, any hiring, it's all null. Pennsylvania courts have ruled on it multiple times, and Collingdale in the past has been held in violating the civil service rules. They teach on it at the Pennsylvania State Associations. Oh, I don't have those slides with me right now. But, court cases is all public information. You can look it up. Our civil service process for this round has come to a close. The civil service has produced a list. This council will be holding executive sessions to meet the conditional offers if the candidates accept the conditional offer. Tonight's vote was to issue the conditional offer. Once they meet all of the conditions, each candidate, then we'll hold a special swearing-in ceremony to bring them on. There's about 7 points, and where the candidates are in various points on that list. But the Civil Service Commission has done their part. They produced a list. So expect to have new officers very soon. They are all officers that have been officers other places except for one. The roofs, and it's actually plural. We have 2 roofs that are in disrepair. Our taxes went up because the roofs are over 40 years old, and we've been talking about this since November, on how bad the roofs really are. And it's neglect on the maintenance of the roofs. And the reason that it is now a high priority is because it's an income stream that we are trying to keep coming into Collingdale. If we have to shut down parts of our complex, it's even more of a burden onto the taxpayers in the future. My rough math of how much we make off of our spaces is probably $1.4 million over 4 or 5 years. So that is why the taxes went up. And the services that those roofs are providing and housing is needed for the greater community. Not just Collingdale, but Southeast Delco School District, our kids, the education system down this side of the county. So I don't like it. I'm upset. But I'm hopeful that, and I know I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure those roofs get done this year. Why we haven't moved forward with it? One, we don't have the money on hand. Taxes haven't come in yet. They're rolling in. But we have also applied for some grant assistance. How can the community help? I have talked to Heather Boyd directly. We have letters of support from Heather Boyd's office, Anthony Williams' office, Mary Gay Scallon's office. Our borough manager and our engineer have done a great job with putting the LSA grant together. But if we speak as a community and tell the state that we need this grant money, because there's other problems going on in Collingdale. Capital purchases, such as a new street sweeper, trash truck repairs or replacements. There was no strategic planning in the past. Other municipalities, City of Philadelphia, when you're operating a municipality, you strategically plan to make these purchases over a long time so the tax burden is not so much at one time. This is your community center. This is our community center complex. It has to be taken care of because, one, we don't have the money to bring it down and replace it. Two, it's 5 buildings. We're only sitting in half of one on the lower level. What we call the court side, we have 3 entities operating out of that. 2 entities operating out of that. We have the administration side that we're sitting in here, and then we have another charter school on the other side.
It's not a charter school.
Camelot is under Southeast Delco?
Yeah, it's not a charter school.
Okay. Either way, these facilities are needed not just by Collingdale, but by our surrounding communities. These places are not free to operate. It's not fair that everything is on the taxpayer. It's not fair that we had to raise these taxes to save the income. I'm concerned that we are still going down the road of decorum, of not being in decorum, like dressing to handle the business of the borough. Suit and tie, looking professional, acting professional. It's a concern. It's not just my concern, it's a concern of our neighbors. That we gotta try to be professional when we're here. There's a way to disagree and say no without getting disrespectful.
So what happened to the money?
I am hopeful. I'm very hopeful that we've planted enough seeds of progress and improvement. That we're planting the seeds of proper governance, mitigating our risk, and getting into compliance. These things bring down costs over a long-term period. I've been very glad to work with our solicitor who have been able to mitigate a lot of our risk when it comes to anybody that's trying to bring lawsuits against us, even work against us when they're supposed to be working with us. But I'm very hopeful for the future of Collingdale as a whole. It's not easy doing the right things. In our country, we have gotten used to smoke and mirrors when the truth feels like it's a lie. But we'll keep moving forward because we all live here. We have invested here. My mother's here. She chose to retire here. And I choose to retire here as well. When we interviewed Manager Robinson, he struck a chord with us. Well, definitely with me. When he said that we're all looking to age in place and take care of home and feel safe. That still sticks in my mind. I believe we have the tools and the foundation that we need to build a better Collingdale. Learn from the past, but move forward to a better future. You know, Martin Luther King had this radical idea of a beloved community, and that still sticks in my head. I believe that we can build the beloved community here in Collingdale together. But it's not easy. It's not easy. You have to be willing not to tiptoe through the tulips.